Imagine a reality where you were fully tapped into your divinity. What would that look like for you? In a world where we are manipulated into surrendering our power and authenticity, there are those of us who actively heal and work our magic to help others step into their highest versions. My name is KaSandra. I am the witch, spiritualist, founder, creator, and poet of Magick of Eden. My mission and purpose is to fearlessly share my magic, art, and wisdom to help others reclaim their divinity through poetry and ritual magic. On my podcast, I'll provide tarot readings, reveal prophetic messages and visions, share my astrological insights, discuss and perform my poetry. I'll also feature other creatives to ensure an infinite space of love, healing, and world unity. Hello everyone, welcome back to my podcast. My name is KaSandra if you're new here. I am the witch, the spiritualist, the founder and creator of Magick of Eden, and if you guys are returning, what's up family? I am always happy to be in good love and high vibes and in good spirit with you all. So the reason for this podcast episode is because we are going to be diving into the new moon in Aries that is happening on March 21st, and I just have to say that I am really excited to be sharing this because, man, when I looked at this chart, y'all, I immediately felt pumped, fired up, and just ready for change and ready for action. Now, I want to start off by saying that one of the most significant things about this new moon is that, first and foremost, it's happening in the sign of Aries. And now Aries is not only the leader of the zodiac, but anytime the sun moves into Aries, this is the start of a new season. It's the start of a new year. It's the start of a new zodiac year. And then, of course, it's happening in springtime, which springtime is the start of the year. So looking at the chart, the sun and the moon are actually sitting conjunct each other, which means that they're basically sitting like right directly next to each other, or like sitting on top of each other, if you will. And this basically brings this energy of us really putting forth our effort, our might, our courage, our will into starting something new that we've been feeling, that we've been wanting, that we may have felt has been lying dormant for the past few years. And I say that because if you take a look at the previous transits that we've been having, a lot of things have been broken down, pulled from under our feet. You know, we felt that things were confiscated or taken away from us, especially as these organizations and, you know, leadership and politics and everything have been broken down. We've been feeling as though the things that we've been wanting have been put at a halt, or in a sense kind of stopped or crumbled. And I feel like at this time of this new moon, it's like we're starting to realize that we have the power and the capacity to take these things that we thought were dead, or that we felt that there was no life to, and say, I'm going to bring back life to this because I know for a fucking fact that I deserve, you know, these things to manifest into my reality. And it's interesting because I actually ended up pulling some cards prior to doing the astrology reading, or prior to actually pulling the chart, and one of the cards that came out actually was the Magician. And it's interesting because magic is one element that you can find within the Magician card. Now, to me, magic is using the energies of the universe in conjunction with the will to create change and manifest, right? It's the will of the creator, you, being projected out into the universe in order to co-create one's reality, your reality, in the realm of the physical. Your intentions, or the things that you feel, in a sense, are not only being highlighted, but you are taking enlightened action and making sure that you are projecting your will or performing the action in order to make what you feel and what you want a reality. And I really do feel that that is written all over this chart, especially with the sun and the moon sitting conjunct this way. Now, we also have Mercury and Jupiter also sitting in the sign of Aries. Now, for me, it really does make me feel like someone is, or a group of us are actually going to start showing up in a way that not only challenges thought, but it also, in a sense, kind of makes us ask the question, is this going to benefit myself, but is this also going to benefit, you know, the collective? Is this going to benefit more than just myself? Is this going to be beneficial to my career. And I really do feel like there actually is an emphasis on career, because as I was shuffling the cards, I actually heard Spirit say that there's going to be a change in the way that we do business. And it's really interesting because I do feel like a lot of people, especially with the transits that are happening now, is like some of their endeavors or their careers are going to be geared towards things that are going to help them reach enlightenment, but it's also going to help them reach a higher state of consciousness. And I feel like this is going to be geared more towards, I don't know why I'm hearing occult, but like occult matters and diving into the unseen and using that in a way to in their profession or in profession. And I really do feel like, in a sense, that our careers are being changed in a way that, in a sense, matches our purpose more. And I feel like this is definitely more purpose driven. And I also feel like, especially with Chiron sitting in the sign of Aries too in the 10th house, is that we're able to connect in a way that is healing, and the things that we want to bring us money, or the things, not even just money, but the things that we want to bring us the most fulfillment, are going to be things that are healing. And I really do feel that all of that is written in this chart. So say, for example, if you are someone who is maybe like at a 9 to 5, right? And it's like you want to get out of there because it's like, you know that there's something else that you want to do that brings you more purpose, that makes you feel more alive, that makes you feel more in tune with yourself and who you are as an individual. I feel like you're going to say, you know what, I want to put this down because these people are pissing me off at the end of the day. I don't even like Susan because Susan's this or whatever, or I don't like Tyrone because Tyrone is this or whatever. It's you taking a step back from that and saying, well, is it the fact that I don't like them, or is it the fact that I just don't feel like or do I feel restricted here? And it's like, I feel like Spirit is letting you know that this will be the time, or that is an opportunity for you to step back and say, I want to put more time, energy, and effort into this other area of my life, because I know that this is where my purpose lies, and I'm going to do what I have to do in order to put my energy out there, work my will, work my magic in order to make this manifest. And I feel like with the vertex point sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, now, Sag is mutable, right? And I feel like this is all about the vertex point being in the sign of Sag is really us. To me, it's like the vertex point brings fate, right? So it's like fated ways or fated action, right? That's kind of the way that I'm thinking about it, only because, of course, when you think about Sagittarius, it's an action oriented. It's an explorative and action oriented sign. So anytime the vertex point sits in that type of sign, especially in the 5th house, this is something that you do that allows you to express this fiery aspect of yourself. And I feel like you doing that is going to cause or magnetize something towards you. It's like, oh, I feel this heat, this action over here. It's like this heat, this fire is what pulls, it's what draws life. It keeps life going, if that makes sense. So this action that you're taking is what's going to, it's kind of like, I'm getting a vision of hot coals and someone stepping on hot coals. It's like, are you going to step on these hot coals and fall, or are you going to use this as an opportunity to put the fire beneath your fucking feet and between your toes to propel and to move forward into this next end goal or whatever, like whatever the end game is for you. And at the end of the day, there is no end game. All it is constant evolution, constant elevation, constantly you raising your consciousness and elevating your consciousness through your endeavors. And I really do feel like this is also going to change the game and how you show up for other people, but also how you show up for yourself. Now, again, there is an emphasis on things being changed around the way that we do business, because this stellium is also happening in the 10th house. Now, a stellium in astrology is where 3 or 4 or more planets are sitting in the same sign and or in the same house. Now, there is a stellium in the 10th house, with Venus also being one of the planets in the 10th house. Now, we have Venus, we have Jupiter, and we have Mercury, like I said, all in the 10th house, right? So Venus in the 10th house, this Venus focuses on aesthetic, beauty, luxury, leisure. It also rules the things that we're attracted to and how we attract and things of that nature, right? So I do kind of feel like, in a sense, we're showing up as these people who are more in tune with this beautiful version of ourselves, but it's also, we take time to really be in the moment, but also understand especially with the Nine of Pentacles showing up here, it's almost kind of like we're in this area of our life where we feel like we want to simply enjoy it, and we're going to do what we have to do in order to get this or reach this life of luxury. Not in a way that is greedy. I also kind of see minimalism happening, but we're finding beauty in these different things, and it's almost in a sense kind of making us more creative. I don't know why that's coming through, but of course with Venus being a planet that does rule creativity as well, that could be why. Now Venus is also in the sign of Taurus too, in the 10th house, so I do feel like there's this emphasis on really on us, in a sense, kind of like using what we have in order to create more for ourselves. This is bringing me to saving for whatever reason. I don't know why it's like kind of reaching. Some of you guys may find yourself reaching into your savings. Just be careful with that. You don't want to go too deeply or too far into that. But I also kind of feel like, especially with the collapse of fucking governments and businesses, and with the fucking collapse of banks, like this to me is like you're figuring out a more creative way in order to make money, and that to me is standing out a lot. And I feel that the way that you're going to be doing that is by betting on yourself, using your courage, using your power, using your drive, and saying that even though the odds may feel against me, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to break through all these fucking barriers, and I'm going to do what I got to do in order to show up in the world. Some of you guys feel like, and y'all, I am fucking fired up. Now I'm a moon sign in Sag. And I know I'm saying a lot right now, so thank y'all for bearing with me, but I am on fire. Now, I know that some of you guys may feel or may have felt like, well, what is the point? You know, I've been experiencing breakdown after breakdown. Nothing in my life is going right. Nothing is going according to plan. I've been surrendering to spirit. I've been doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but it just feels like everything in my life is just simply crumbling, right? Now, looking at the chart, because there's such an emphasis on Aries energy, and also looking at the fact that there is a trine in all in the fire signs. Also looking at the cards, we have the Justice card appearing twice. Everything that happened previously was a breakdown, right? Now, you taking enlightened action and you actually projecting your will and being about it is what's going to create the balance in between the release, the purging, and the breakdown, and you manifesting and you enacting on this enacting on these ideas and taking enlightened action to bring these things into your life, using the power, the heat of your will to magnetize. See, the thing about Mars or Aries is that it's part of the divine masculine, where it goes out, it does what it needs to do in order to attract. It attracts by going out there and doing it. There's this emphasis on divine masculine energy here, and I really do feel like this is not just divine masculine energy in its primitive form, but this is more evolved. Now, the lesson that I'm getting, that I'm feeling, that's coming through looking at this chart, is that we have to remember that because we are in the air quote physical realm, and because we have not reached a point where we can think things into reality simply just by thinking, but some of us are still at a point where we have to still use the power of our will and our action to help set these intentions and manifest these intentions, if you will. And I think that is the lesson that spirit is teaching us through this new moon in Aries. It's, we have this idea, we have this intention, we have this goal, and we say, I'm going to do what I need to do right now in order to make this goal a reality. For example, if you want to be a dancer, you say, okay, even though I didn't start off at an early age, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to start it now because I feel I've always wanted to do this, right? I just never had the confidence. Well, now would be the time for you to say, you know what? Let me start stretching. Let me start researching videos that, of other dancers to see different techniques. And let me start to look for a dance instructor. Or maybe you want to, be your own instructor, because of course this is, and this is Aries, right? So this is cardinal. This is you want to take action for yourself. This is you doing everything that you need to do, taking things one step at a time, which reminds me, I'm getting a download right now that some of you guys have been seeing 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1234. You may have been seeing it on your receipts. You may have been seeing it on the timestamp. You may be seeing 1 2 3 in your bank account or whatever, or what have you. But this 1 2 3 sequence really intuitively is just a way of the universe reminding you to take it one step at a time, but not even just that, remembering to put forth your action. And to remember that by you taking it one step at a time, but you using each of these moments to do what you have to do, is what's going to it's like you are cultivating this thing by taking action and taking it one step at a time. But each time you're in this moment, you as a mind, as a monad, as a singularity, as a creator, as a co-creator, as an observer, have the power to be present in each of your actions and really understand and know what it is that you're actually doing with enlightenment. And I'm getting that because of this Jupiter sitting in a sign of Aries. Now, man, this to me is super fucking amazing, because with this trine happening in the fire signs, it makes connecting with the fire element very easy and effortless. And it really combines all the elements of cardinal, fixed, and mutable. We are fixed on the things that we want. We are cardinal, meaning that we're going to take action for them. And then also we are mutable, meaning that we are allowing ourselves to move and to flow with the energy. This is fucking Jedi energy. This is, Buddha energy is coming through. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Buddha was an Aries. Some of you guys are tapping into this this Jedi, this Buddha, this fucking force to be reckoned with. Some of you guys are taking up martial arts. Some of you guys are taking up archery. Some of you guys are using the power of movement to really focus your intention to make your fucking dreams a reality. And I'm fucking here for that shit. And I am fired up and I am pumped. And I am sitting here telling you that with Mars sitting in the sign of Gemini brings frustration, but it also brings us to our ability to kind of think swiftly. And with it sitting in the 12th house, these are the things that we may not speak about, that we may not be aware of immediately, but the people outside of us can see, through our behaviors, through our actions, that these are things that kind of seep out. And you're saying, you know what? I am going to use this, the things that I don't say, the things that I feel that I hold dear to me, the things that are within me, that are buried within my subconscious. I'm going to allow the subconscious forth, do this shadow work so that I can direct the shadow in a way that is appropriate, or in a way that's going to help me manifest this whatever. And that's the energy that I see in this chart. So if I'm going to conclude this, I'm going to say that now would be the perfect time, at the time of the new moon in the sign of Aries. This is not only your time to shine, but to show up, but this is you reclaiming your courage. This is you reclaiming your not just your self-love, but who you are as an individual. This is you being able to tap back into the element of you that was lost through these breakdowns. This is reclaiming your courage, reclaiming your power, and reclaiming your will, and dominating these different aspects of your life in a way that is healthy, in a way that is not you projecting or being selfish or taking from other sources in a way that is greedy, in a sense. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel that this is you being aware of your power as a manifester in this world to create change and manifest and work your fucking magic. That's what this Aries new moon is all about. You starting and planting these new seeds for yourself, and I'm not even just for you, but for the collective, for your soul group, for your family. You being able to take the energy of Aries and use it for a higher purpose. Now, I know there's a message coming through right now for anyone who needs to hear this. I understand that, in astrology, we have this thing where, we have, I'm a Capricorn, I'm an Aries, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm this, I'm that. We die hard for our sun signs and all that good shit. That's cute and all, but let's just really think about this shit real quick. You as a co-creator, as an observer, as a creator in this world, have the ability and the capacity to tap into each and every one of these fucking zodiac signs. No energy is off limits to you. So what you can do is you can use the energy of Aries to project your will into the universe to manifest. I also want to talk about, for whatever reason, now I'm being brought to the attention to talk about Saturn being in the sign of Pisces. But before I do that, let me go ahead and stop this real quick, because I want to tell you guys something real quick about anger. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and continue. I am fired up as fuck. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I am super fired up, and it's like 1:02 in the morning, and I'm up here doing an astrology reading, pumped as fuck, loud as hell. My kids are asleep. It's such a vibe here. And I gotta light some more incense, but I'll do that after this. But anyways, moving forward, I wanted to talk about this Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Now, Saturn in the sign of Pisces, Pisces connects us to the dream world. It connects us to our intuition. It connects us also to magic. It connects us to our shadow and things like that. And Saturn is the planet that rules structure. It also rules the bones and astrology, our skeletal system, and things like that. So when you have such a structured planet in such a dreamy sign like Pisces, it says, okay, we really have to start to really bring structure and implement these things, these dreams, our wants, our hopes, and the things that we see in the ethereal. We have to start to, in a way, be practical and really be mature and really set forth motion and do what we need to do in order to make that manifest here in our reality, because Saturn deals with the reality. It deals with the world. It deals with things that are concrete. It deals with earthly matters. And then Pisces is so ethereal. It deals with the unseen. It deals with this sparkly type of energy, this romance, this hope and this wish or whatever. And it's Saturn is saying, this is no longer a hope. This is no longer a wish. We are going to do what we need to do to make sure that we can see this unfolding in reality, even though we may not know exactly what everything looks like, right? Because there is this element of the unknown when you're dealing with Pisces, because of course it is the shadow. And of course the shadow is a light that can't be detected on the surface. So even though we may not see the complete outcome, we can be rest assured that with this transit, as long as we are doing what we need to do, we can ensure that the enlightened action that we are taking and our actions that are fated, right, the vertex point being in a sign of Sagittarius, we can be rest assured that these things will withstand the test of time, because we learned our lessons in the past about these different people that we met up with, or these different fated encounters, or these different fated actions, or these different fated interactions, or what have you. It's like we learned what we needed to learn from those interactions and those lessons, and now we are doing what we need to do to solidify these dreams into our reality. Now, to be honest with you, I'm super excited and I'm super pumped, of course, about this transit, because I feel like this is definitely a major opportunity for us to turn our lives around and start this new chapter in our life with the courage and the knowing that what we want to see unfold in our reality is absolutely possible, right? And it's possible because we are going to put forth the energy in order to ensure that our actions are, in a sense. So one thing that I want to say, I want to backtrack real quick. Our intuition is us receiving a signal from the universe about unseen energy, right? The things that we cannot see. It is us tapping into the unknown through the universe, right? And then of course we have our minds that has the ability to contemplate and to sit with that and say, okay, what is this trying to tell me? What is it that's to come, and things of that nature, right? Now, as this relates to this new moon happening in Aries, of course, this is where the universe is speaking to us through our intuition to say, you have what it is that you need. You have all the tools and the resources available to you, hint the Magician card, in order to create change and manifest. The feelings that you have, the passion, the drive, the will, all of that is within you is all the fuel that you need in order to send a signal to the universe, to the ethereal, to the intangible, to the mental domain, to the all, and pull from that timeline, to pull from a very specific reality from the timeline that you want to see manifested here on earth with your human eyes, right? Because your intuition understands and sees the things and knows and understands things that the naked eyes cannot. Your spirit, your soul, your mind can understand and pull from things that the physical eyes cannot see. You may be able to see it in your third eye, and obviously you can, because that's how you're able to set the intention in the first place, because you can see it in your reality, and you say, you know what, I'm going to work my magic around that. Now, I don't know how this is going to directly impact you in your own personal life, because I don't know what Mars rules in your life, or I don't know what Aries rules in your chart. Okay, so it's going to be kind of different, different areas of life for each and every one of us. But at the same time, I don't even really want that to limit you at all. You can use this energy to change any area of life that you so choose to, because this is all about you understanding that this is not off limits to you. You don't have to limit yourself or restrict yourself to this thing, especially with Saturn being in the sign of Pisces. This is understanding where it's like, okay, I know that I'm not restricted. I know that I'm not going to restrict this, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my energy, my maturity, my understanding, and my power to bring structure to these things that I know that I want to see in this life. And I really do feel that this is Spirit's message to you, is that at the time of this new moon in Aries, you are restarting the chapter of your life. This is a clean slate where you can take charge of the things that you want in your life and see those things unfold in your reality. Even though you may not see the full outcome, remember that there is an element of surprise. Again, this may be some things like you may have been wanting to do, like archery, as I said before, or martial arts, or jujitsu is actually coming through right now. Or maybe kickboxing or boxing, anything that has to do with physical action and movement, and you implementing this fight within you in a way that is more healthy and controlled, can also help you manifest your desires as well. So that's the energy that's coming forth and coming through for this Aries new moon. And I also want to point out too that we also some of the cards that I didn't mention actually is we have the Ace of Swords here, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Two of Swords here, we have the Three of Pentacles or coins, and then we have the Page of Cups. Now everything combined, oh, and we also have the World card. With all the cards that are coming out here, I really do feel like this is definitely a start where you are starting to use everything that you have. This is also bringing me to hoodoo, because you may not have the most extravagant things or whatever to work your magic, but guess what? You have some basil more than likely in your kitchen, right? You might. You feel me? You may have some thyme. You may have, some chamomile. You may have some shit, that's available in your cabinet, or some sugar, or some honey, or some agave. Work with what you have in order to create your intent, in order to work your magic with the intention that you have. Because at the end of the day, what these other people are not going to tell you, or what people are not going to say in the spiritual community, is that at the end of the day, you're tapping into the power of your mind to make some shit happen. You are using the power and your energy to, in conjunction with the universe, right? In conjunction with these other energies, to create an opportunity for you to do what you need to do. That's what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you're tapping into your mind. You're tapping into this energy. You're using this energy to harness, it's like you're harnessing this energy, but also harnessing your own, and using those in conjunction with each other to create this specific thing, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, you have the power, you have the will, you have the drive to see and to make changes. Thank you all for spending some time with me here today. I really do appreciate that, or tonight. And if you guys need anything from me, y'all can go ahead and visit me online at magicofeden.com. You guys can also follow me at Magic of Eden. You guys can also enter into the shadows, to the dark side, at Shadows X Magic. I'll make sure that I have everything linked down in the description box. And I will see you guys in my next podcast.